Yeah, I thought, even though we had didn't play great, we were right there at halftime, only 3 points down, and then they, started the third quarter on a little bit of a run, which we weren't able to recover from at that point. But I really felt like our guys, they fought till the end. They kept playing hard, something we talked to our guys about. But give credit to them. They've got a really good team, really nice team, and they were able to get us tonight. But I'm proud of our guys. They have, we talked about the journey starting back in April that we were on, and to get to here to where you're one of the last two left standing is a heck of an accomplishment.
Andy, it was kind of a disjointed first half, and obviously a lot lower scoring than people probably thought it was going to be. Was it just tightness, or was it the way people were defending each other, or what?
Yeah, I thought both teams defended each other pretty well. Devin Brown, I think, was 1 for 10 in the first half, and Toby, that was his assignment. We had other guys help out, but yeah, I just, this late in the year, as much tape as you see and as much scouting as you can do, I think that other team pretty well and how they run, and so they were able to take us out of some things, and we were able to take them out of things too. So, yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it on both ends as far as getting defensive stops. We just and we didn't shoot the ball real well. They didn't shoot the ball real well either. So I would attribute it to defense on both ends.
What did you see, Andy, from your perspective about Orange's defense? What did they throw at you that made life so difficult?
They're solid. They keep everything in front of them. They force you to take and make jump shots, which, tonight it was not falling for us. And they're you can see them at the defensive end. They're a connected group. They're all five are on the same page and know where they're supposed to be at a certain time. But and then they do a really good job of keeping the ball in front of them as well. They guard the dribble pretty well. We had some opportunities in the first half where I thought we were able to get to the basket and score, but not very many. And they also did a good job with wrapping up possessions in the first half with a rebound. We didn't get to the glass quite as much as we wanted to. And again, when you're not shooting it well, you got to try and figure out ways to manufacture some points, and we weren't able to do that tonight.
Yeah, for Coach, in the third quarter, it just kind of they just turned it on. When that's happening, what can you do other than call timeout to really kind of regroup and stop what's going on there?
Yeah, with these guys, there's not a lot to do other than, hey, call a timeout and let's reset here a little bit. We've got a veteran group, and these guys have been through, different runs that teams make. And so, have all the confidence in the world that we were going to be able to get back in it. We weren't, but with a veteran group, these guys do a lot of talking in the huddle in terms of, what we need to do, what we need to do better, what maybe we need more of. So you call a timeout, get your guys reset, and just, hope they'll keep battling. And they have all year. For 26-2, as I said, we have been through every scenario I think possible, every situation, and these guys have just continued to fight for 28 games, and they did it again tonight.
Coach, you guys all season long, really benefited from just getting out in the open, running in transition. Tonight, you guys only had 4 points, I believe, off the fast break, and yeah. I think one came at the very end, and the other one came close to that as well. What prevented you guys from being able to get out in open space and get a lot of points like you usually did throughout the year?
I think their transition defense obviously was good. On the shot there, they got guys that are getting back, and it was hard for us to get the ball out quickly and push it up the floor. So their transition defense, I think, was a big part of it. Also, and I take the blame for this, I don't think either of these two sat out at all. I'm not sure Jordy came out. I'm not sure maybe X came out a little bit. I think we got a little bit tired, too, and weren't able to run like we normally do when we have a little bit more depth. I think, fatigue might have led to a little bit of that.
For Jordan and Toby, you guys have been big parts of this program for 4 years and have just continued to grow and improve upon this, throughout this journey here. I know, speaking in the heat of the moment, that this loss is difficult, but can you guys just reflect on what you were able to accomplish with this team and, the legacy that you left?
Me and my brothers, we worked hard for this, and I'm just glad to be here to experience it. I wouldn't want to experience this with no other group. So, we put in work right after the season last year. It came to early morning workouts. We up every day throughout the week, working out, just getting ready for the season that was coming up. And just looking back on it, to only lose 2 games, that's pretty impressive to me.
Going off what Jordan said, we worked our tail off to get to this point. I'm real proud of us. I wouldn't want to go to war with anybody else but them. So yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
individual number on the stats you just popped out to me. I didn't realize, but we'll lead with individuals because it's such a team effort when we are so team first. So I'll get to that in a minute. Incredibly proud of our kids. You know, it's just, what do you say? We're state champs. It's overwhelming. It's exciting. There's no words to put to it. But, you know, when you're a little kid in the driveway, you're watching March Madness, like this is the first goal, right? Like these guys all came through our camps, played in our youth program. We built this thing organically, and just incredibly proud of these kids. It's been fun. Like, it's been really fun. Obviously, we got the payout we wanted, but it's been a great journey and a very enjoyable journey because of these guys with me in the locker room.
Coach, how much are you a history of Columbus basketball and what this means to be in with the Lindens of the past and the East and your dad also?
Yeah.
Does that hit you, or do you think that'll hit you later? Or?
Yeah, so, you know, I'm not a history buff, but I did live it. Like, you know, my dad was a head coach at Westerville South when I was 2 years old. I am now 40, so we can all do the math there, how long he's been at South. But, you know, grew up going to St. John's Arena. Grew up going to the shot with him. We saw LeBron his freshman year, St. V's. My dad came home and he's like, hey, we got to see this kid from Akron. No one knew who LeBron was at that point. So just going to these games with my father as a kid, super cool. You know, you guys probably know the history of it. Father-son state champions, I don't know. I think the Joyces got it. But to have my father win a state title and now we win a state title, it's incredibly meaningful. And, you know, like I spent a lot of great time around my dad in the gym, and, you know, that was my childhood. And here we are today, so it's pretty cool.
Anthony, I noticed in the second quarter, I noticed you look over your shoulder at the stats up on the big board. What were you thinking? I mean, it was kind of a disjointed first half. What were you thinking when you looked at those stats, and then coming out the third quarter, obviously, what were the big...
I just kept looking at the field goal percentage, and ours was like 1%, but theirs was 0. It was obviously not that low. I'm exaggerating, but both teams shot very poorly to start that basketball game. Both teams deserve credit for their defenses. But, you know, like, we're a good shooting team. We got the stats to prove it all year. We have, I think, 5 guys close to 40% from 3 on the season. So at some point, if we kept our self-belief, we were bound to break through. And then in the third quarter, these guys broke through. It was pretty cool.
You mentioned that defense. What do you think you threw at Reynoldsburg that made life so hard for them tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, holding them way below their average, not just the first half, but all night.
I'm obviously not talking trash, but I just statistically, factually, I would like to look at the scores. Their max preps, I'm assuming that this was their lowest total of the year, which is pretty cool to do in the state title game. So, you know, we didn't do anything crazy, right, guys? Like, we didn't have any crazy game plan. We just wanted to be very good, be exceptional in what we do, you know, which defensively we played a lot of one, which is our man, no switch, and we wanted to be really keep the ball in front of us, right? Pressure would contain is the term we use, be heavy in gaps, make them take a ton of contested twos and a ton of contested threes, which we did a very good job of, and we needed to rebound, and we gave up 8 second chance points in the first half, but we got way better in the second half rebounding, and our kids did a very good job closing that game rebounding.
What was the message at halftime, and why did you come out with such a big burst to start the third quarter? I mean, what did you do? What was the emphasis there that kind of kicked that off? You guys can get in on it.
I had good grief. I don't even remember what I even said at halftime. What was the message?
He told us when we leave this game in 5 years later, will we have any regret, or will we be happy with our performance? And that motivated me to push harder in the second half.
Basically, he just says 16 minutes left, what we've all been working for all year. Are we going to leave it all on the court or look back regretful? And obviously there's some scheme stuff too, but that was just the main message.
Yeah, we've been harping on it all tournament that we want to empty the tank each game, leave nothing out there, and I think that's what we did in the second half.
There was some scheme stuff we talked about, but ultimately, like, needed to rebound, right? Gave up 8-second chance. Need to be better at the rim. We challenged them to quit second-guessing themselves. We use a phrase, commit or hesitate, and we were just hesitating way too much at the rim. And, you know, it's like, hey, like, yes, they're athletic, but we're giving them too much respect at the rim. We need to trust ourselves and be aggressive and just trust the work that we put in. And, we go against athletic guys in practice every day. Trust each other. Trust your work. So just kind of challenge them a little bit to be a little tougher in the paint, and obviously they responded exceptionally well.
Obviously, your guys' success has come on just being a great team effort. But I am curious to see if you could speak individually about Ellis, who really seemed to carry you guys with a lot of that scoring when you guys were having that drought. And Ellis, tell me, was this the best game of your career, especially given the stage?
This is my career high for changing orange, and I was hot out there, and then they kept giving me the ball, and I appreciated it.
Hey, that was when I sat down. That was what I first saw, and I said, "Well, we'll talk about the team because we're team first." But holy crap, 2 claps for Ellis Apia. Yeah, so I did tell my brother, obviously, you know, basketball family, all week, who's practicing well, who's going to have a big game, who's the X factor? And I'm like, who knows, anything can happen, but Ellis has had a great week. And obviously our boy got loose in the state title game, which was incredible.
Obviously, you got the transition game going really well in the second half. I think your transition was, 24-2? I think you outscored him in transition points. And Drayton had a big part of that, too. I mean, he had a few threes over there in the corner. I mean, take me through that a little bit.
Yeah, I want to talk about Trey a little bit in his shooting. You know, I try to give him his space, but he's an incredible shooter. We lost a really good shooter last year, and everyone's like, how are you going to fill those shoes? And I'm thinking, like, no disrespect to the guy we lost, but Trayton is an incredible shooter, and I have a ton of belief in his shooting ability. And I just want him to trust himself, so I tried to give him space so he doesn't overthink it. But, you know, I'm calling a lot of sets for Trayton. A lot of our baseline plays are for Trayton just to shoot the basketball. A ton of belief in his shooting ability. He hit over 53s on the year before tonight, and obviously he had a lot tonight. And then him and Ellis shooting the ball made a huge difference in this game. So you never know. You never know if you're going to shoot it well, but that was definitely a possibility, and it was cool to see it pay off in the state title game.
Back to real quick to your halftime talk about 5 years or in 10 years or in 50 years. They don't know this yet, and you do a little bit. It really doesn't matter necessarily how you play. It's just get the dub. Was that sort of part of the message of just go hard and don't leave anything?
Yeah, absolutely. It was mostly about the effort, right? Like, not that we didn't play hard in the first half. We played hard, but, like, you know, like I said, we didn't trust ourselves enough. We were a little tentative. So it was like, hey, don't worry about making mistakes. Like, the effort is the effort. If you're proud of the effort, like, when you look back at this 5 years from now, can you say, I am proud of that effort? Not the result. Are you proud of the effort that you put in? And if you are, then we'll be all right. And obviously, we were all right. So it was a pretty fun third quarter.
Coach, you talk about effort. Talk about what it means for the legacy of Orange, the state title game, and years moving forward.
Yeah, who's a quick math whiz here? The last 3 years, we were 24-4, 26-2, and now 26-2 again. You're 25-2 before tonight? 26-2 now. Yeah, so 26-2 the past 2 years, so 52-4. And then what? So 76-8 the last 3 seasons. Like, there's a lot of good Central Ohio teams or around the state that lost more than 8 games this season, and we're 76-8 the last 3 years. It's pretty impressive, if we do say so. So, you know, it's been like, yes, this is our first state title, but we've absolutely been trending this way. So it's wonderful to get the payout with a state championship. But we're really proud of the program we're building because we have incredible kids. And, you know, yes, we're talented, but in my opinion, our care for each other is what separates us. Just incredible character kids that love each other. So I think that helps us with our results.
Devin, you got off to kind of a rough start from the field, shooting wise and everything, but you seemed like you were dishing out a lot of the assists and getting a lot of the steals and stuff. The second half, did you feel like you really had to kind of change your focus, change your role a little bit?
Coach basically just told me in the first half I was just shooting a little bit too many threes, and he just told me to get downhill, make them respect your drive first, you know what I mean? And then the three will come. Just play my game, let it flow to me naturally. And I just feel like passing has just always been in my game. I always try to find my open teammate, and I feel like that just comes naturally, so that wasn't really something I tried to focus on.